Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Zonia, and this is episode 4 of Hot Girl Hygiene. And today we're going to talk about everything that you need to know to avoid having strawberry legs. This is definitely one of the most commonly struggled with skin condition that if you do avoid and maintain well away from it, it'll give you a really nice effortless look. But in doing that, it is a little bit of a high effort maintenance. So many different factors can go into causing strawberry legs, and so many things that you may not even be thinking of or aware doing wrong or just out of place can be causing for you to have strawberry legs. And I wouldn't say they're easy to avoid or treat, but they are simple to avoid and treat. So I want to go through all the possible things that you could be doing wrong to cause strawberry legs, and then things that you can be doing to avoid them from either starting or getting worse, and then treating them if you are currently struggling with the appearance of strawberry legs. In essence, strawberry legs are really just clogged pores that are then oxidized. So all of that gunk that is clogging up your pores, once they reach the surface, they become oxidized and then give that dark appearance to where there's little dots everywhere. It's not the same thing as KP. It can be confused as the same thing as KP, but it's not at all. They can be textured, sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they can be darker than others. They can appear on a part of your leg and not the whole entire part of your leg. They can appear on your arms. They can appear in different areas in the skin, and usually they are painless, and like I said, at times they can be like smooth with no texture. But again, they definitely can be treated and avoided. It will take time, it will take effort, it'll take different routines and little habits to treat them, and you definitely have to be really intentional in doing things to avoid having strawberry legs. But that is the basis of this entire video, so I will definitely be sharing every single thing that you would need to know. I also talked about this a few times in a short form, so as usual, if I do have any short form videos that go hand in hand with what I'm explaining or can give you a better visual, I will have them playing on the screen. For all of my other short form content, I am Zonia on every platform. But as I say every single time, I'm not one for long intros, so let's get right into this video. So of course, as I always do, I am going to break this video down into sections just to give everything a little bit more structure in case you do want to skip to anywhere specific or just completely understand the section. I also do break them down by chapter, so definitely feel free to use the chapters down below. But this video will have 7 sections, and to do a little overview of the sections, we have section 1 being factors to be conscious of when shaving. For section 2, we have using salicylic acid on the skin. For section 3, we have keeping the skin plump to avoid enlarged or dry pores. Section 4 being SPF is a non-negotiable. Section 5 being preparing the skin before moisturizing. Section 6 being a speed run of general do's, and section 7 being a speed run of general don'ts. Now again, as I did mention earlier, this is something super common, never something to be really like super insecure about. This can happen to literally any and everyone, and it happens to so many people. It's so easy for strawberry skin or the appearance of strawberry skin to form in the skin, so it's never nothing that can be super easily like naturally avoided. It can, and in some point in your becoming, like you're growing, you're aging, it will happen. Like it's a natural thing to happen in the skin, but again, it's definitely something that is natural for you to not want on your skin and for you to want to clear and treat. And one of the habits that can be a really leading factor into causing this in your skin and has a lot of gaps for you to make errors to make strawberry skin appear or become worse is when shaving. So let's start with section 1 and talk about factors to be conscious of when you're shaving. Now in a shaving, you should always have a full routine set, one to prep the skin, one to properly remove the hair in an effective and safe way, and then treating the skin after shaving. So in prepping the skin, one thing that is super important for multiple reasons, not only pertaining to strawberry skin, is to exfoliate before shaving. Now while that factor is very important, I honestly think it's crucial. I think it's vital to exfoliate before shaving, really vital to exfoliate in general. But in routines outside of shaving, you can definitely be a little bit more free with your form of exfoliation and do what works for you. Before shaving, you should never be exfoliating chemically or exfoliating with anything fragrance like a scrub. I've seen lots of people say that before shaving they'll use like a scrub, like a tree hut scrub or something, just something that's fragrance. That is probably the absolute worst thing for you to do before shaving to put any fragrance onto your skin and to let any sort of fragrance seep into your skin, because when you are exfoliating, that is going to happen in a sense. If you choose to chemically exfoliate before shaving, that's going to irritate your skin horribly and throw off that moisture barrier to leave your skin way too vulnerable before you go ahead and shave. So in my opinion, the only really reasonable and sensible way to exfoliate before you shave is with some sort of tool, whether it's an African net sponge. For me personally, exfoliating gloves are always, in my opinion, the best possible way. You can use an exfoliating stretch towel. You can use various different tools, but use those in the shower on a wet skin, which is also very important. Never use those tools on dry skin, but do that with an unfragranced soap. Definitely something thick, something silky. You can use Dove if you'd like. I personally would say though that Ivory is best. Make sure it's the Ivory unfragranced, not any of like the scented ones. If you choose to use Dove, make sure it's Dove unfragranced. If you choose to use really any body wash that works for your skin, that is hydrating for your skin and has no fragrance, no additives, nothing to really irritate your skin, use those with your exfoliating gloves to exfoliate your skin in every area where the razor will touch before you do that, to one, clear the way for the razor and get everything off of your skin so that when you are shaving and opening up the skin, because it's natural has to happen when you're using friction, there's not anything being pushed into the skin or anything that has like leeway to seep into your pores, because that's such a common occurrence when people are shaving and they get confused as to why they're having strawberry skin. And it's because before shaving you didn't really prep the skin, you didn't cleanse the skin, you didn't clear everything off of the skin to make sure that your pores are free and clear once they are opened up. The same thing applies when you're actively shaving. It's super important to keep the skin hydrated while it's going through the process of being shaved, of friction, of all of that. I always say whatever soap you use to do the exfoliating part, use that soap also to shave. Yes, there are shaving oils, there are shaving foams, there are shaving creams. I have tried everything, even the fragrance options, which again, I would always say never use something fragrant while you're shaving either, like those fragrance shaving creams and stuff. If you're really wanting your best possible skin and you're wanting to avoid strawberry legs, razor burn, cuts, anything like that, definitely don't use anything fragrance. Honestly, your safest option is really a liquid body wash. That is probably the best possible thing that you can use when you're shaving to really like prioritize the health and appearance of your skin. And granted, other things might work great. Shaving oils might work really well for shaving in the sense of like kind of getting a clean, smooth shave. Sure, those fragrance shaving creams might be good at like the aesthetics of it, but if you really care for the quality, the health, and the look of your skin, there is nothing better than unfragrant soap. And unfragrant soaps are also more based in the actual soap itself, so they're gonna be a bit more hydrating, they're gonna be thicker, they're gonna leave a film of hydration on your skin while you're shaving, which is really important for the health of your pores and keeping your skin plump and not enlarging your pores. Once your pores are dry, they're going to become larger, which leaves more room for more things to build up and get trapped in your pores. If you're keeping the skin plump, your pores have no choice but to really be like enclosed because your skin is now plump, it's healthy, it's hydrated. Does that make sense? I think you know, I've always struggled explaining that bit, but I think I got it down pretty good there. And while still on the topic of shaving, always use fresh, clean razors. This goes right back to the same basis of keeping the pores clear from anything that can build up in them. Personally, I use my razors twice. I shave every Friday, so that means I go through 2 razors a month. I put the razor in my shower, shave with it, do a second run with it the next week, which is still a little bit risky, but it works fine. It's one secondary run is safe. Once I do that second shave, when I get out of the shower, the razor gets out of the shower with me and goes into the trash can. It goes into the trash can. And if not, I forget, I leave it in there. The next week when I go to restock my shower, I will remember and I will take the razor out and throw it out, because sitting in there, one, there's still whatever excess could have been left on the razor, like little debris from the last time you shaved, whether it's your skin, little hairs, any bacteria, the grime from the soap itself, because those soaps can get a little bit tacky when they are dried up, and the razor is left to sit in the shower in the moist humidity for some days. So I always say it's not really ideal to use a razor more than twice or for longer than like a 2-week span. But keeping a fresh clean razor is also going to be really good at keeping those pores clear and healthy and not pushing anything gross pretty much into your pores that you might not even be thinking of or be aware of or really like kind of connect. Next, this one definitely I know is very difficult to do. I like agree it is difficult, but it's very important to shave in the direction of the hairs, and that can definitely be easier in areas like your underarms, your arms, your stomach. Those areas might be like easier to shave in one direction. I know with your legs it's hard to get all of the hairs. I personally have trouble with it. I mean, it's natural. I am Latina, so my hair is a little bit thicker, so it is harder to get it down, like all going down in the one direction. So I will at times have to go up at the end in like a few passes to get the stubborn hairs, which still isn't the best thing to do, but it's what I have to do to get all the hairs, like risk and reward. But keeping that as like your like main path every single time we shave for the entirety we're shaving, that can clog your pores and cause ingrowns as well, because your hair is kind of being pulled in the wrong direction. That was a little bit more tricky to explain, but shaving against the grain definitely can worsen the appearance of strawberry skin. You're not really removing the hair as effectively as you think, because the tip of it that is on the outside of your skin is now gone, if that makes sense. Now, after shaving, once you're done shaving, you're still in the shower, it's important to, one, switch to cool water. Don't shave and then let hot water continue running on your skin. If you're looking, you're like me, by the time I'm done shaving, I get around to that point of the shower, the water's not even running hot anymore. It's no longer running hot. So I kind of like naturally can get away with it. But in the case that you still have hot water running in the shower, switch to cool water. That hot water will like dry out your moisture barrier, because not only is your skin now open and it's a little bit not really inflamed, but it is just open, it's more sensitive. The hot water is going to dry out your moisture barrier. Your moisture barrier again is what? Keeping your skin from being plump and enlarging your pores, allowing for more things to seep in. And that on its own is already one issue, but then when that turns into you then following with like fragrance body washes or scrubs, I can't stress enough. I have already mentioned before that I don't like tree hut scrubs at all. Once I kind of like took a second to really process what the consistency of that is and what the ingredients are, I don't like those scrubs at all. But just the general idea of using something of that consistency on open skin is not sensible, and anything fragrant is also not sensible. It's going to irritate your skin, cause inflammation, cause your skin to have a bad reaction. Even if you don't feel it or you don't see it, it's natural for your skin to have a bad reaction to that, because it's so sensitive, it's so open, it's so vulnerable. You should only be using soaps that are unfragranced and hydrating after you shave. Like personally, when I'm done shaving, I will go in with my multi-peptide soap, which is a good soap with ingredients that are meant to rebuild the skin and kind of strengthen the skin, its barrier, kind of build it back up, which is perfect after shaving. Then I go in with a shower oil wash, which is the hydrating ingredient. It's also in fragrance, and it's gonna kind of leave like a film of hydration over my skin. It's a little bit thicker than a soap would because it's a shower oil, so the consistency is a bit thicker, but it's going to keep my skin hydrated and plumped after shaving, so I don't have to worry about my pores being too exposed or too enlarged, or my skin just being dry and vulnerable. Those are two combinations you never ever want to have in your skin. You also don't want to be rough with your skin after shaving. Don't use any harsh tools or harsh exfoliants, and when you do have to shower, don't rub your skin dry. That excess friction is really going to be irritating. You definitely want to like pat the areas that you shaved dry. It definitely might take a little bit longer to like actually like get everything off if you're like me and you're like super like self-conscious about how wet your skin feels, but it is worth it to not have that irritation in your skin and to not further like stress your skin with more friction. And then lastly, once you're done shaving out of the shower, you dried it off, your main priority needs to be moisturizing the skin. Again, getting that moisture barrier built back up, regaining that moisture in your skin, and rehydrating it so it can be plump, your pores not so open, vulnerable, and enlarged anymore. And then it brings some relief and cooling down to the skin so that you're not dealing with any inflammation that's going to stress out your skin barrier or your pores themselves, because our main objective here is to keep the pores healthy, plump, and free of anything, whether it's something going into the pores, sitting into the pores, filling the pores, or just irritating them. You want to completely keep them healthy and closed off and as hydrated and moisturized as you possibly can for as long as you can, which is why after shaving, I will go in with a fragrance-free soap, of course, again, no fragrance in the skin. And before I was using one that was more water-based, which worked really, really well. But lately I've switched to a biolipid one for two reasons. One, I need a little extra help in rebuilding my skin in general because of how many chemical exfoliants I've been using lately on my skin. So I'm reaching for that one more. And it's also a thicker, more rich lotion, so it's gonna last longer on my skin. It's gonna sink in better into my skin and just do more for my pores while they're so, again, open and vulnerable. Now, as I already did with section 1, let's go on to section 2 and talk about one of the probably the best chemical exfoliants for strawberry skin, which is salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is a BHA, as I mentioned before. Let the B in BHA stand for below, as in like below the surface of your skin. So salicylic acid's function is to dive into your pores directly and clear them out, whether you're using that to clear out excess oil if you're dealing with body acne or really oily skin, or if you're using that to clear out bacteria and grime if you're dealing with, again, body acne or bumps on your skin. Let's say you're using it to just in general clear out your pores, to open up more room for your moisture products or hydrating products to sit better in your skin. Regardless of what you're using it for, salicylic acid is literally meant to free up and clear out your pores. They're an exfoliant completely dedicated to working in the pores, which is, of course, perfect for strawberry skin because strawberry skin is an issue that is pretty much based in your pores. Like it is an issue that is visible and that is brought about by your pores being clogged. So if improving the issue and treating the skin is done by unclogging your pores, what better to use than salicylic acid, or really you could say a BHA in general, but salicylic acid is just the most effective, it's the most studied, and it's very abundant. You can find it in a number of things. You can find it in a wash, you can find it in creams, you can find it in body serums, you can find it in sprays, you can find it in mist, you can find it in a million different products that you can choose to use in or out of the shower to really help your skin. It's a very versatile chemical exfoliant, so it can be found in a format that can work for anyone's skin. So personally, I have been helping clear a little bit of a strawberry skin appearance in my skin. I don't have it that bad, but in the past I was very like excessive in shaving upwards and just not really exfoliating as much as I should have. So now I'm kind of doing the finishing touches and polishing up on clearing up the little bit of strawberry skin that I have left. So one example of one thing that I'm doing that anyone can do to help is using a salicylic acid wash in the shower. I'm using the Naturium, I think it's called the Perfector. I don't know. The green salicylic acid wash, I'm using that in the shower 2 to 3 times a week. Also, if you want more tips and advice on how to use that effectively, properly, and just chemical exfoliants or exfoliants in general, Hot Girl Hygiene episode 2 has all the tips and advice you would need in that realm. Using a salicylic acid wash in the shower is great because it's gonna be effective in a different way that using salicylic acid outside of the shower would be. When you're in the shower, when your skin is wet, it's more open. That's why I always say, like, when you're putting moisturizers on, wet your skin, dampen your skin so it can be more receptive. In the shower, your skin is completely open. Like it's going to be very receptive to everything that you put into it, which is why like super fragrance things will irritate you more in the shower because your skin is more open, and why hydrating things will work better in the shower because your skin is more open. Products that are very drying in the shower will dry your skin out so much more than products that are drying outside of the shower, because in the shower, not only your skin is wet, but you're also in a humid environment. Your skin and your pores are as open as they can be. So putting on salicylic acid wash, letting it sit for a second, and then running it off your skin is going to be really effective and helpful in clearing your skin. Now, given like any other treatment in your skin. It's not going to be an overnight change. It's not going to really work overnight, but if you're consistent with it and you're patient, it definitely will make a difference in the appearance of your skin, and it will work. Although I would say soaps, or really just any chemical exfoliant in general, is going to dry out your skin a little bit. So if you are using it in the shower, always follow with the soap to hydrate and something to rebuild the skin after using that chemical exfoliant in the shower. You can also use salicylic acid outside of the shower on dry skin. I personally use this spray by also Naturium. My whole routine in and out of the shower is almost completely consumed by Naturium at this point. I use this after the shower. After this one though, I definitely want to try something with a higher percentage and something a little bit thicker, but this mist has been serving me fine lately, so I don't mind continuing the use of it. But in the same way you would use the wash in the shower 2 to 3 times a week, the same thing applies with something outside of the shower, whether you are using a mist or a serum or a toner, or however you're choosing to use salicylic acid. Although outside of the shower, these do go onto dry skin. Out of shower, chemical exfoliants are made to be more effective on dry skin rather than wet skin. So don't think to like dampen your skin before using that. That's like an in-shower thing. But again, using chemical exfoliants, BHA, really salicylic acid in specific, is going to be really effective at clearing out your pores. Granted, it's not all you need to help with strawberry skin. It's definitely one of the helping factors, one of the elements to incorporate, but it's going to do the heavy lifting in clearing out your pores and clearing out all the gunk that is in your skin that is giving you that appearance of those little dots everywhere. Now, I feel like I've touched so much on keeping the skin plump and hydrated. Let's just go on to section 3 and talk about keeping the skin plump to avoid enlarged pores. And I keep saying enlarged pores, but I also mean dry pores. Both of those things can be a humongous factor in the appearance of strawberry skin. So the easiest way to really keep the skin plump and hydrated is to make sure that you're prioritizing hydration in and out of the shower. In the shower, you can definitely choose to use fragrance soaps and get your fragrance out of the shower if that's your personal desire. I don't desire to get fragrance out of the shower whatsoever. None of my shower soaps are fragrance. Every single soap that I use in the shower is a fragrance. And I don't plan to ever use anything fragrance in the shower because I'm taking advantage of my skin being open and receptive while I'm in the shower water and while I'm under that steam as much as humanly possible. To also reference back to another Hot Girl Hygiene episode, the last episode gives you all the tips that you would need in regards to building a proper shower routine with strategy for this very thing. But again, it comes back to my main point, which is prioritizing that hydration in your skin as much as possible in the shower. Out of the shower, there shouldn't be a day that you're not moisturizing your skin. Whether you're choosing to use a lotion, a body butter, a cream, whatever you're using, that has to be used onto your skin every single day onto wet skin. It's another thing. If you're applying these onto your pores when they're not wet, they're closed. They're not going to really absorb any of the hydrating products that you're putting onto your skin. If you're using products that contain really quality hydrating ingredients like glycerin, fatty acids, ceramides, peptides, things that are going to really help in plumping and hydrating your skin, but you're applying them onto dry skin, they're not gonna reach your pores where it's needed. Personally, I've gotten to a point where I think every single product I use out of the shower is either based in like glycerin or ceramides or like a fatty acid or like cocoa, something like that, I don't know. And then always sealing your skin with oil or a balm, an occlusive, because you also don't want to waste time putting on products to get to your pores but not sealing them so that they're really evaporating or rubbing off before they have time to truly sink and sit and make a difference in your skin. Having plump skin and having strawberry legs do not work together. Like, you can't have the two at the same time. So if your skin is building up any gunk or bacteria, sweat, any excess oil, if you're doing a good job at keeping your skin underneath the surface healthy and enclosed and keeping your pores full of water and hydration, that stuff won't really have the opportunity to get to your skin, and by the time it potentially would, you're already in the shower rinsing it off and rehydrating your skin again. Keeping your skin as hydrated as possible is probably the biggest biggest factor in avoiding strawberry skin. And again, what you're choosing to use does base completely on your skin. If you have any conditions or anything special in your skin or anything unique in your skin, that's where you go to choose like what works best for you. In environmental and seasonal changes, that also applies. When you're adding or removing products from your routine, that also applies. Personally, I at one point was really big on Bath & Body Works body butters, and then I started using more like really deep cleansing soaps to where my skin was much more clean and kind of like vulnerable, to where the fragrance in those body butters was starting to irritate my skin. So I moved away from fragrance-based body butters to body butters that are more based in moisturizing and plumping the skin, which were the Palmer's body butters. I still love those, but those are still also fragrance. It was working for some time really well until I started to get really active and really consistent using chemical exfoliants. So using chemical exfoliants with those soaps that can be a little bit drying because of how concentrated they are, because of how much they do really cleanse your skin out, and the chemical exfoliants taking that top layer off of my skin with me constantly using them. Now I needed like really thick hydration, and my skin now is so much more prone and vulnerable to irritation because it's so fresh all the time. I don't really give my skin any time to build up anything really to kind of block it off, to where now my skin is so vulnerable, I am barely using anything fragranced at all, to where instead of the Palmer's body butters, now I moved on to the Naturium unfragranced body butter. That also has like glycerin and just products that are more effective in keeping my skin healthy, hydrated, and plump while I'm using all these other products, and while I'm having my skin so much more vulnerable and open all the time now. That's what I mean by really being aware of everything in your routine and everything that you're doing to choose the best moisturizer for your skin to really keep your skin hydrated and avoid enlarged pores or just vulnerable pores and a vulnerable skin base, and even compromising your skin barrier. Like, there's so many factors that you have to really be focused on and kind of like prioritize when you're trying to avoid something like strawberry skin, because the slightest error or gap in your routine or in your products can trigger like that skin to start happening. Now that's everything for section 3. Let's go on section 4 and break down why SPF is a non-negotiable when you're working with strawberry skin. So SPF is a complete non-negotiable when you're treating strawberry skin and when you're dealing with and managing strawberry skin. And I'm gonna go into a breakdown of both of those. Let's start off first with treating strawberry skin. So when you're treating strawberry skin, again, one of the main things that you are doing is clearing out your pores, keeping the skin refined and healthy, plump. But as I mentioned earlier in a previous section, one of the main ways to do that is by using a chemical exfoliant, a BHA, salicylic acid to go into your pores and clear out your pores. Now, while that is great, it's gonna work amazingly, chemical exfoliants are known to make your skin much more vulnerable to light from really just removing a lot of layer, not a lot of, but just removing a layer of your skin and making your skin just more fresh, more renewed. Like, it kind of, with clearing out so much, your skin is so much more vulnerable because there's nothing in its way and there's nothing to really stand in between your skin and that light, UV, any form of light damage. So while in other times your skin kind of like naturally had a little bit of a protectant with all of that buildup, which is kind of gross when you think about it, now that you no longer have that buildup in the way, your skin is pretty much like open and welcoming to all that. So you're needing that helping hand, you're needing that SPF to really guard and protect your skin and keep a block in the way from any light damaging or hitting your skin, even drying out, eating up like all the moisture in your skin as well, since again, what are we avoiding the most? Enlarged and dry pores. Now, when dealing with strawberry skin, let's forget the concept of treatment and let's just say that you're just dealing with it in general. You just have it there, you're not doing anything for treatment. Well, light damage and any light onto the skin will cause either a tan to the skin or even burns. Both of those will make your skin darker. Making the skin darker is going to make the appearance of those strawberry legs worse. They're going to become much darker color. They're going to look more oxidized. So when you are using sunscreen, let's say, to protect the skin and you're still kind of dealing with it, they're still there, the pores are still really clogged, it'll be visible, but it will be a much closer tone to the actual color of your skin. if you're not using anything to protect your skin and the skin in that area or just the area in all of your body is just getting darker and burning in general, everything's going to become darker. So instead of that color of those dots being closer to your skin where they're there but less apparent and less visible, once the skin darkens and those areas darkens, those dots are only going to get darker to where they're going to become more and more visible, more and more apparent from further and further away. In SPF, there's a number of things you can use. I use like 3 different SPFs for my chest area that is very sensitive. I use a sun stick. I actually have it right here. It is the Abib sun stick. Then for my body, on days that I'm gonna be in a lot of like light exposure, a lot of sun, I'm gonna be outside a lot, I'll go in with my Banana Boat Spray SPF 100, which is a more chemical sunscreen, much stronger, much more protection, much heavier. And on days that I won't really be in too much of light, I won't really be experiencing that much light damage or that much kind of like UV onto the skin, but I still want to protect the skin regardless, I'll go into like my fragrance option. I think the one I have now is from Bath and Body Works. I think that's where it's from. And it serves my skin just fine, adds a little bit of a scent, so I don't really feel like I'm wearing sunscreen. I don't have that sunscreen scent to me because honestly, I mean, who wants to smell like sunscreen? If I don't have to, I'm not going to. In summary, in all, SPF and just protecting your skin from light damage, from sun damage, from burns, from darkening is very, very important when managing and when treating strawberry skin, and also in preventing it, because if you don't have strawberry skin at all and you really just want to avoid it altogether, you need to be doing every possible thing, and this is one of those things to do to really avoid, treat, prevent anything when it comes to strawberry skin. Now let's go on to section 5, which is about preparing the skin for moisturizing. I did already mention it quite a bit, but I want to go a little bit deeper just to give you all the possible ways and ideas in when you are preparing your skin and dampening your skin for moisture products. So as I mentioned earlier, when you are going to moisturize your skin, you want it to be as receptive as possible and you want the most possible absorption from your moisturizers. So one thing you're never going to do is apply anything onto dry skin, except for chemical exfoliants, of course. But moisturizing products, hydrating products, you're never going to want to apply them onto dry skin ever, because they're not going to do anything. They're going to sit on the surface of your skin, and in a short amount of time they're going to evaporate or rub off on your clothes. They're never going to actually get to your pores, which is the only place they can really be effective in. Plumping your pores, filling your pores with water, hydrating the skin. If your moisturizers aren't doing that exact thing, they're not going to do anything for your skin at all. So when it comes to water, either you can put your moisturizers on in the shower if that's your preferred thing to do. I've heard lots of people can do that. I personally can't. It's like very overstimulating. I have to be completely dry. I can't be like working on my skin here and like feel my legs wet, or like I need to completely dry off. Once the shower water is off, I'm out of the shower. I can't be in there anymore. I can't be in the humidity. I need to come out to the fresh air and breathe some fresh, like, dry air practically. So I will dry my whole skin off. Then I do use this misting bottle to re-dampen my skin. There's nothing in here but water. I just kind of mist the area I'm gonna moisturize. Usually I do like my 2 arms and the top of my chest, moisturize that. Then I do my stomach and my back, moisturize that. 1 leg, moisturize that. That's how I do it. Just works for me. Now you can choose to do just that. In the past I was just putting on moisturizer, which was a lotion or body butter, and then oil. If that works for you, that's enough for your skin. Your skin doesn't really need anything more than that. Or you moisturize more frequently. Let's say you take 2 showers a day, you put on lotion twice a day. You can really get away with just using the water and the moisturizer. If you're like me and your skin can be dry, you need that extra moisture, you need the extra hydration, you need it to last longer, because there's no guarantee that the next morning you're gonna put it on again and your skin may have to wait till the next evening. You're gonna want to add in a little extra product in before your moisturizer to help the moisturizer stick longer to your skin, hold on to your skin longer, and just to be another like layer of hydration before your primary hydration. So you have 2 options. One, what I'm using now is a body essence, in the same way that like an essence would serve for your skin before a serum, like in your face. There exist the same products for your body. I'm currently using Cyclar's Ceramide Milky Essence. I've been using this a lot lately. I tried it once and I never stopped. I've been using it every single day underneath my body butter. it makes the biggest difference in helping it stick and last longer on your skin, to where you'll wake up the next morning and still feel like you just put on your moisturizer. And it's also just an extra layer of moisture and hydration to the skin, but these can be a little bit more tacky. They feel like, in a sense, like a milky toner when you're putting it on, and then once it's absorbed, it's like a little tacky. It's not super tacky, but it's a little tacky before you put your moisturizer, whatever moisturizer you're using on. This is one option. Another option you can use is a body serum. I have this one by Naturium, which is urea 5%, and it does contain a glycerin. I use this personally for my feet only before my aquaphor. So like my body, the layering is like the water, the milky essence, my moisturizer, and then the sealant. For my feet, it's the water, the milky, well, this serum, and then the sealant, which is aquaphor. And lots of people are telling me that this is not going to be effective for my feet because it's only 5% urea. I am aware of that. This also has glycerin and amino acids. I wanted a combination of all. I didn't just want pure like 40% urea. I wanted obviously other hydrating and moisturizing ingredients for the skin, since it's the only thing I'm using underneath my sealant, which is why I'm not choosing to use this for the body. I'm really choosing to use it for my feet. But if you're also wanting the same combination, you don't really want to put like a full-on essence on, you just want like a serum that has really hydrating ingredients and is built to kind of be the extra layer on the skin, you can also go in with a body serum like this. Obviously there's more options. These are not the only 2 options that exist on planet Earth, but these are like 2 good examples that I have on hand that I can show you. And again, it's not a complete necessity to have that layer underneath your moisturizer, but I would say it's a little critical, especially if you're dealing with really severe strawberry skin or just strawberry skin in general, and you really genuinely want that like true treatment. You really want to target your skin and really want to like completely flood your skin with moisture and hydration. Even if it's just for your whole body, not just for your strawberry legs, just in general, you want more hydration and moisture in your skin. Using these before is definitely going to be key in holding the hydration there longer, holding the moisture there longer, and just being so much more intentional with your skin and just making your product so much more effective. It's kind of like, think of it like a primer when you're doing your makeup, like a hydrating primer, how it helps your makeup not become cakey, not dry out, not become all like dry and cracked. It's the same exact thing with your moisturizer. Same thing. Now the next 2 sections are speed runs, section 6 and 7. Let's go to section 6 first and go through our do's when treating and managing strawberry skin. So for this section, when I was planning this video out, writing down everything, like writing down all my tips and stuff and structuring it, I did make these sections that were in a sense like summarizing or reinstating every single tip that I did share in the video. So I kind of just want to read them off of here because I kind of made them in bullet points, and I feel like I've already explained them all. This is just another quick like bullet point everything really fast in case I did kind of ramble too much, talk too much, and you kind of just want to get like a main chunk of all the important things that I said. If you want to like cut down on all the extra words and really just get like the main basis, these are going to be your main bases. So we're starting off first with our do's. Do number 1, prioritize prepping the skin. Always soften your skin with exfoliating and lukewarm water before shaving to help open follicles gently without inflaming the skin, nor inflaming the skin afterwards with hot water. Do number 2, use a fresh sharp blade every 2 shades. Always using it to help the razor slip, preferably a hydrating and silky unfragranced body wash. Do number 3, always follow the direction of the hair growth to minimize the risk of trapped hairs and causing any irritation. Do number 4, incorporate BHAs like salicylic acid into your routine to dissolve the glue holding all dead skin cells and excess oil that is clogging the pores. Do number 5, always apply your products onto damp skin. This will significantly improve the absorption and efficiency of your moisturizing products. Do number 6, always layer your products. Use lightweight essences, body serums, or other ingredients as a buffer before applying your moisturizers always follow your moisturizers with a rich occlusive or sealant to seal in hydration. Do number 7, maintain a healthy rotation in your routine. Distinguish between active days where you're exfoliating or shaving and recovering days when you're prioritizing hydration in the skin. This way you are over processing your skin and providing balance to keep it healthy yet treated. And for the last do, prioritize sun protection. Always apply SPF. Exfoliated skin is so much more light sensitive and a sun exposure can darken the appearance of these pores. Now let's go to section 7 and do a speed run of the don'ts. Starting off first with don't number 1, don't use hot water. Extremely hot water will strip natural oils in the skin, which will weaken and damage the skin barrier and can increase inflammation. Don't number 2, never use dull blades. Never push through a shave with a dull or dirty blade. This can cause micro tears and trauma to the skin surface and push in old buildup and bacteria into the pores. Don't number 3, avoid over exfoliating. Never use your chemical exfoliants every single day, whether they're in or out of the shower, and don't overuse your harsh scrubs. Both of these will compromise your skin barrier and cause irritation, inflammation, and redness to the skin. Don't number 5, never rub your skin aggressively after shaving or showering. Always pat dry gently and avoid excess friction. And for the last don't use scented products on freshly shaved skin. Stick to fragrance-free options even out of the shower after shaving. This will help reduce the risk of stinging or just further irritating and inflaming the skin. And that's everything for our do's and don'ts. Now in summary, when treating and managing strawberry skin, you always need to focus the most on consistency. Strawberry skin is almost always a sign of chronic dryness, inflammation in the skin. Prioritizing hydration and moisture in your skin and maintaining that really plump hydrated skin is really going to be key and is much more important than quick fixes or something to be like an instant quick recovery to the strawberry skin appearance on your skin. Think of it instead as having a routine to maintain a healthy skin barrier and plump hydrated skin. When your barrier is intact and it's healthy, it's protecting your skin, pores are going to remain clear. This way your skin appears smoother, more refined, and there really is little to no way for your pores to be clogged and to kind of push out that appearance of strawberry skin on the surface of your skin. Again, this is something that can really happen to anyone, and it's really easy to trigger in the skin and just things that you don't really consider or think too much about in your routines. There can be lots of gaps that can allow for strawberry skin to come about, and once you do have it, it definitely does take quite a bit to treat it and recover and have that plump clear skin again, but it is absolutely possible. It really just requires consistency and the proper use of products, the proper routines, the proper products, and just keeping in mind the right things to avoid and the right things to do. But that is it for this video and a complete overview of everything to know when dealing with strawberry skin or wanting to treat or manage strawberry skin. I definitely think I got every single thing down. If you do still have questions or want any further advice or want me to expand on anything in this video more, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and if this did help you out. I definitely know in the summertime when our skin, more so our legs, are more exposed, it's definitely much more desired to have that really clear, smooth, flawless look on the skin. And while it can look very low effort, it definitely does require a good amount of maintenance and high effort. So I do hope that everything here did kind of give a really good idea of the proper things to do and the proper things to avoid. But again, that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did gain something from this video and this video was a great help, definitely go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you do want to learn more things like this and be a part of this community, go ahead and subscribe. I also am Zonia on every platform, and I do post daily all things body care, hygiene, health, and just general wellness. And again, if you do have any further questions or want me to expand on anything, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and any tips that you might even want to share yourself. And if you are just now joining the series, definitely go ahead and watch the previous videos. I think there's definitely information and value that can be gained from every single one of those videos by anyone. So definitely go ahead and tune in if you haven't yet. And of course, stay tuned, because with this being episode 4, there is still 14 episodes left in this series, and I am posting weekly on Thursdays at 6 p.m. So always stay tuned for the next episode to come for weeks to come. But again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Definitely stay tuned for Hot Girl Hygiene episode 5. Bye!